Greetings, this is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. Today we're going to talk about number 1, manifestation, and then number 2, 2 different reasons why your rituals, your spells, your magical practice does not work. So, first with manifestation. As I always say in my videos, reality is composed of roughly 3 separate layers. The top layer being the mental realm, the next layer being the spiritual realm, and the bottom layer being the physical realm. Okay, so when you look at the diagram of the Tree of Life, you've got Kether at the top, and the energy comes down the different spheres all the way till it gets to the bottom, which is Malkuth, the physical realm. Everything in between is different gradations of how energy is transferred, how it separates, and how it coagulates, and continues to gather more and more physical form. So just to make it simple and break it down, it's the mental plane, which is where the intent resides, where the thought, where the conception is, the area that is closest to the inception, right, to the original spark of divinity. Then you have the spiritual, the emotional, the astral realm, where it's right in between the thought and in between physical, right? It's not quite solidified, but everything that is formed here, in all seriousness, begins to develop a physical form. Okay, so it trickles downward. Everything that has anything that has a physical presence first has an astral imprint, a spiritual imprint. Okay, so understanding that reality is composed of these 3 layers, every spiritual work that you do, in order for it to be effective, has to have alignment with all 3 of these worlds. So, with any ritual, with any spiritual practice, or anything that you're doing, you want to focus your intent in the mental area. You want to focus on your intent. You want to clear your mind of everything else. This is why meditation is important. You want to sit down, you want to focus clearly and get into your perfect zone where you're able to clearly visualize and put together your intention. Next, you want to do something in the spiritual or the astral, the emotional realm. This is where the ritual comes into play. Because essentially what you're doing here to trigger the spiritual realm, the astral realm, you're doing something that's going to trigger the subconscious mind, right? So this is why we have the path walking, the visualizations, the different colors, the different candles, the different incense, the different things that you do and act. It's all symbolic, all right? Now, on the physical realm, you also want to do something here in the physical to correlate with your spiritual and your intent. You want to bring it all together in one place. For example, like when you go to church and you want to be renewed and revived and resaved by the blood of Christ, you go to church with that intention on every 4th Sunday. That's the mental realm, knowing that you're going to get that fresh dose of salvation. Now, in the spiritual realm, you go through the ceremony, you go through the ritual, you go through the songs, the music, and all that stuff. And in the physical realm, they pass around the plates with the little wafers and the wine, and you physically take in the food and the drink, eating the body and the blood of Christ. It's symbolic, right? It triggers the subconscious mind into an understanding that you are renewed, refreshed, that you are saved once again. And this all connects the intent, the spiritual, and the physical. You bring it all together. So any ritual that you're doing, it has to connect all 3 of those planes. Now, the 2 reasons that your rituals and your spells and your magic and whatever you're doing isn't working is, number 1, you think that you just have to do one ritual and that's it. Now, for someone who's very experienced, for someone who knows how to tap into those 3 realms with ease, how to slide in and slide back out, for someone who understands how to impact their subconscious mind to get in and get out, yes, they can do one ritual and it'll be done with. But for most people who are still at the beginner stage or even at the intermediate stage, has to do these type of things on a semi-regular basis, or at least every once in a while, just to keep the current flowing. Like I said with the church example and the sacrament, even they do it once a month. So this is something that you have to continually do to continually tap into that energetic current, right? You have the intention of what it is that you want. What you're doing is you're tapping into that astral, that spiritual realm to get that energy and pull it down into the physical by doing the physical action, the physical ritual. So a lot of times your rituals are not being successful because you do it once, you tap into the energy once, and then you just let it ride, you just forget about it. If you're still at the beginning stages, you probably need to go do it again. Not out of doubt that one time isn't good enough, but out of repetition, out of getting into the frequency, out of frequently doing it, right? Because frequency is, the up and the down, how many times you do it. So you want to get into the frequency of doing it. And see, the thing about the repetition is You're becoming acquainted with the feelings and the energy and the chemical releases of doing the certain ritual. So once you've established a basis of doing it on a regular interval, later on down the line you can tap into it with ease because you know what it feels like, what it looks like, and you already have a confident library to build upon, right? You've done the ritual multiple times last year, so you know that it works. This is why certain rituals that I do, I only have to do it one time when I need it, and I trust without a doubt that it's done. Speaking of without a doubt, the second reason that most rituals fail is because people lose faith. They start to gather doubt. They start to think that, oh, I'm not seeing the results that I expected, so it's not working. Never give up on your rituals, right? Failure only happens when you fail to believe in it, right? Whenever you quit. It only happens when you stop, right? Because you can't put a time limit on these things. You can't put concrete expectations on these things. You want to kind of leave it open for spirit to do as it may, because spirit knows better than you. Where your perspective is right now, you know somewhat, but you got to also understand that there's a part of you that exists outside of time and outside of the physical body, and it kind of has a bird's eye view, and it might see that you did a ritual for, say, specific for a girlfriend, right? And you're hoping for a specific girl. Bird's eye view probably sees that, hey, this is not the one for you. Really, I'm going to take all this energy that you're pouring out here for a mate and channel it towards the one that you need, the one that you're actually asking for. So you got to kind of have an open mind when you're doing these rituals. It doesn't always happen the way you expect it to happen. It may not come when you want it, but it always comes on time, right? So yeah, those are the two main reasons that it doesn't work out for you. Number one, because you're only doing it once and you think that that's enough and you're not experienced to do it once. It's no problem to do it again. Just as long as it's not done out of a basis of fear. Do it again out of the intention of getting more acquainted with the energy that you're trying to access. And the second reason why rituals fail is because you give up, because it doesn't happen when you think it should happen or how you think it should happen, so you lose faith, right? You try to evoke a goetic spirit and you get disappointed because you didn't see, an angry, snarling creature in the corner of your room. It's not how it happens, right? This is an energy, and the image that you think that you're seeing in these books is just a symbolic representation of this entity. You're not gonna see a freaking demon in your room, right? You can, but that's not going to happen to everybody. It's just not. So get rid of that. Seeing a demon is not a prerequisite of evocation, right? It's rare and it's unnecessary, honestly. You're accessing an energy and you're putting it to use in your life, right? Get out of the Hollywood mindset. It's there to keep people away from it. Keep them away from it through fear or through confusion, right? So get out of confusion, get out of fear. You're tapping into certain energies, learn how to cultivate it, learn how to channel and align those energies on the mental, spiritual, and physical realms. And do the ritual as many times as you need, and don't give up before results happen. So this is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. And as always, peace.